everybody, it's me Stacey here at Scrapbooking Made Simple with our next Saturday with Stacey. We are on YouTube number 155, and this is the YouTube where I release our next collection of simply refined dies and stamps by Scrapbooking Made Simple, and this collection is called Transformations. And when you see it, you will understand why I called it Transformations. It is the most detailed, the most you just have to see it to understand it. I have tried to give you every little ounce of being able to use these dies in so many different ways. What I do want to tell you is that in this collection, the dies are not interchangeable. Usually for a Simply Refined release, we try to make some element of it interchangeable. But when you see what these dies will do, it doesn't matter if you're a card maker, a scrapbooker, altered artist, mixed media, banners, whatever you do. These are dies for you because you will be able to do it all. And it took a lot of brain power, not all mine. I just knew what I wanted them to do. I needed help on figuring out how to get them to do it. And thankfully I have really great help. Hi everybody. Hi Mark. He helps be the brains behind. Okay, Stacey, how are we going to make these work to do what you want to do? And bless his pea picking heart, he helps me with that. So anyway, I'm going to show those to you. I'm going to demo them. This is definitely a technique-driven YouTube. No question about it. This is a technique-driven YouTube. You are going to want to have a piece of paper and a pencil handy. You will want to take notes for this YouTube. Again, no question about it. This is for beginner crafters, intermediate crafters, experienced crafters, but still you're going to want to take notes. So if you want to pause me, okay, pause over. And hopefully you have your paper and pencil. I also want to tell you before we get started that the fire here thankfully did not cause any damage to my business, and nobody was harmed, nobody was hurt. It is a true godsend that I came back to the store around 8 o'clock at night to do some work. Otherwise, I can't imagine the damage that would have been done. But it still caused more damage than we had thought. The utility shed, which is about 3 feet from my business, is what burned, and it burned pretty severely. All the power meters and the electrical panel and the phone lines were completely destroyed. The cable lines, the routers, everything were completely destroyed. Scrapbooking Made Simple is currently providing phones, not just for my business, but for all the businesses in my building. So if I undo my extension cord leading out to the power where we're hooked up by literally some electrical cable, some duct tape, and some chewing gum, if I unpull that, everybody on my side of the building loses their phones. My electrical is hooked up literally by duct tape while they're doing all the repairs, and the insurance company hasn't approved everything yet, so I'm not exactly sure when the shed is going to have to come down and be rebuilt. At that time, they're anticipating that I will be closed for about 3 to 4 days. And then while they're working on it to shore everything up, we have intermittent phones, intermittent internet, intermittent shipping, intermittent everything. So what that means is that we are behind in our shipping. Our goal is 30 days. Right now, we're running about a week past that, only because we just never know when they're going to turn off our power or our cable or our phones to do work back there. And I can't tell them not to do it because I need it done. But boy, it's causing a little bit of a headache, a little bit of an issue. But again, for what could have happened and what did happen, I am blessed. I thank God every day. Nobody was hurt, and we will get through this. I don't anticipate us being shut down for for some time yet. I think it's going to take the insurance company a few months to get everything figured out and contractors hired and things like that. But for now, as different companies, AT&T and Time Warner and Edison and different companies go back there to just try and keep things running for the businesses in the shop, in our center, we get shut down. So if your order is running a bit late, we apologize. It had everything to do with the fire. The girls are working just as hard as they can to get them out to you as quickly as possible, but please have patience. We would ask that of you. This could have been so much worse, and I'm very grateful that it wasn't. So I wanted to give you that as a heads up. I also have winter chicken dinner to talk about really quickly. Last week I showed off my brand new craft mat that is non-stick and non-slip. Oh, it's just a happy day. It's in front of me now. It's beautifully clean. It's not moving anywhere. The Big Shot machine goes right on top of it, and I'm not slipping and sliding. I don't have to tape it down to my table. It is a happy day. So we showed that off along with the glitter paper and some dies from Kaisercraft, the Kaisercraft glitter paper and their word dies. Now, I have two winners that are winter chicken dinner, and they're going to receive not only the craft mat, but they'll receive a die from Kaisercraft and some of the glitter paper. Yay! Do you want to know if it was you? Well, if it is, how are you going to claim your prize? You're going to email us at winner, W-I-N-N-E-R, at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Winner, W-I-N-N-E-R, at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Say your winter chicken dinner from YouTube number 154. Give us your name, your address, and your telephone number, and we will get those prizes out to you as quickly as possible. Please understand, prizes ship after orders ship. So if it takes a little longer to get your prizes, it also has to do with everything about the fire. Okay, so just be patient, you'll get it, I promise. We always make sure they get out. All right, so if you are Susan Stauffer, I hope I said that right, Susan Stauffer, S-T-A-U FFER, congratulations! You are our latest winter chicken dinner. Woohoo, kachoo! I hope you like the craft mat. I hope you do. And who is your partner in crime who has also won a prize package from Scrapbooking Made Simple? Anne, with an E, A-N-N-E, Anne, with an E, Christensen. Anne Christensen, congratulations to you. And you also have won the craft mat and a die from Kaisercraft and some glitter paper. I hope you make something beautiful with it, both of you. Anne and Susan. Oh my gosh, what wonderful, easy names. Now, I already told you how to claim your prize, so that's what you're going to do. And we'll get them out to you just as quickly as possible. Patience would be helpful. Thank you. All right, now for today, I'm done talking. We're going to tilt on down. We're going to get started. I hope you have your paper and pencil ready. I hope you are ready for transformations, because what I think we have brought to the market has not ever been done anywhere else. I think. I can't say for 100%, but I think that we are the first to do what we've done. And I'm not going to lie. I'm really proud of the work that that has gone into these dies to make them do what they do. And while I would love to take all the credit myself, I absolutely can't. I don't have the brain power sometimes to figure out how to actually make. I can see it, I know what I want, I can, but this took help. So thank you, Mark, for your help with this. I greatly appreciate it. All right, we're going to tilt on down and we're going to get started for today. Bye, everybody. Now, downstairs, we have the make and take going on right now. And so you're seeing this on a Saturday. It's Saturday with Stacey. So that means while you're watching this, we have up to 100 wonderful ladies downstairs doing the free make and take. And they are making and taking this card right here in about 6 different colors they have the option to do. And this is an easel card. So when you put it in the envelope, it looks like this, but then it flips up and it becomes an easel card. I wanted to do an easel card and I wanted to do a flip card, but I wanted them to be using the exact same die. So, using the exact same die, we also did a flip card. I don't know that there's any dies currently out there that will let you do an easel card, and a flip card out of the exact same die. But then I wanted to do more than that. I wanted you to also be able to cut the dies out. Now, these are the make and takes they're doing downstairs, and the dies are so much more than this. I want to show you a card that Michelle has done using this set We've only used one of the smallest dies out of this set, and the center is out from the set and the stamp comes with the set. But I want to show you a card that Michelle has done using the set. Do you see all of this? That is all part of the die set, the one die set. Do you see how beautiful the edges are? See that piece right there? That's the piece that we use to do our make and take. But can you see how much more you get? And then I'm going to easel it. How beautiful is that? Even down there, that's part of the die as well. How beautiful is that? That's a complete set. But we could have done a flip card with it too. I just wanted to show you how we took it and did a very simple make and take for downstairs, but how it could be completely, just absolutely stunningly blinged up and elaborated on. And yes, even the holder, so your easel card stays in place. Yes, that comes with it too. Everything's included. So I'm going to put this one aside for right now and put it with Michelle's samples, because of course we've got lots and lots of samples. And I'm going to show you one of the sets. Actually, the set I'm working with today, I think, is the set I'm going to show you. So here it is. And as you can see, there's far more than just the die that's going to allow you to make the easel or the flip. You've got lots of dies to go in there, actually. Several dies. I want to say this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's got 6 dies in the set, plus the 2 stamps. It is called Transformations is the collection. And this one is Take Pride and Have Faith is the name of this one. And that has to do with the stamps that we used for it. Now, I'm going to lay them all out so you can see them. So I've got the largest die. Then I've got the next one that fits right in there. Then I've got the next one, which fits right in there. Then I've got the next one, which fits right in there. And then this one, which fits in there. And then finally the little stand die, which will let your easel cards stand. So this is what encompasses one set. Like I said, with the flip card or the easel card, we actually only used die number 3 to do it. We didn't show you, well, we used die number 2 and number 3. We didn't even show you what die number 1 looked like with it until you saw Michelle's. So all of this fits into one set that you can use. You can use the dies on their own. You can use them in conjunction with. You've got lots of opportunity. And in this set, like always, we tried to give some stitching and some dots. And so you'll see that there's little dots in here and those deboss. And we tried to give you a lot of elements. Today I'm going to be focusing on, while I will be using all of it, I'm going to start actually with the more difficult aspect of this set, or the more technical aspect of this set, and then maybe work my way a little bit easier. Normally we work our way from easy to a little more difficult, but I really want you to be right here with me, right on, focused in on what I'm doing. Now, as you can see, I'm on my craft mat, and this is my new Simply Refined craft mat. It is substantially stronger and thicker than the craft mats that are currently on the market. And most importantly, it doesn't move. It grips to your table. And that was really important to me because I use my Big Shot a lot. And it was slipping and sliding and I was having to tape it down to my table. Now I don't. The craft mat is longer than a standard craft mat. It is 21 inches wide. And that way my Big Shot or whatever die cutting machine I'm using fits on it and still gives me a little bit of space. Is this a self-healing mat? No, if I cut it, it will cut. But if I want to paint or mist, or if I'm using my Tim Holtz Distressor, at least your mat's not gonna slip and slide. If you already have a craft mat, then use it. They're all wonderful. They do their own thing. I just tried to take the best of the elements that I wanted in a craft mat and utilize it into one. And that came with it being substantially thicker. And then having the non-skid, the non-slip on the back, and the non-stick on the top. So you can mist and ink and hot glue gun and it'll just come right off, no problem. Now with the dies that I'm going to start with today, I want to show them to you. I want to show this one to you up close. I'm actually going to put that one out of my way for right now. I want to show them to you up close because it's important that you see the difference. This side of the die has an edge going all the way around. This side of the die has a cutting edge all the way around, but it stops at my points. This side of the die just has a couple little cutting edges intermittently. It's not all the way around. There's a little edge here, there's a little edge here, there's a little edge here, but it doesn't go all the way around. That means when I use this die, typically a die is going to have an edge, a cutting edge all the way around, and I would put my paper and I would die cut it, and this entire piece would come out, and I would cut a piece of paper in this entire shape. But to get you a flip and an easel, we had to rethink the way dies are manufactured and how to utilize them best. And I'm going to show you that today because again, I think we are the very, very first to put this type of a concept out in the market to give you the maximum amount you can do with a die at the most value priced I could possibly get it. Okay, so I'm going to start with a flip card and an easel card, and I'm just going to be using this die. Now I'm going to grab a piece of paper. 8.5 by 11 is what I'm going to use. 8.5 by 11. I wonder if that's too dark. Let's try this one. Better? Maybe. 8.5 by 11. I'm going to make an A2 size card. Now, can you use just a standard card base? Yes, and I will show you how to do that. But I wanted to use my bedazzled paper. And you can see it's got that beautiful sheen to it. And that is what bedazzled paper is. It has a gorgeous sheen to it. And I'll show that to you later. But to make an A2 size card, which is your standard size card in the US market, you take an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and you cut it down the center. Cut it right this way. And so I'm going to grab my trimmer and I'm going to do that. So I've got my trimmer here. I'm going to put my paper in on the 11 side, and half of 11 is 5.5. Half of 11 is 5.5. So I am right at the 5.5 mark on my trimmer, and I am going to cut that. I've now cut my paper in half. So if you want to practice, you can practice on copy paper or notebook paper because notebook paper and copy paper is 8.5 by 11. So I've got 1/2 of my 8.5 by 11. The next thing I'm going to do is move it to my 8.5 side and put it in my trimmer. Only this time I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to score it. So half of 8.5, or as half of 8.5 is 4.25. I'm going to come up to my 4.25 line on my trimmer, which is right here, and I'm going to take my scoring tool. Can you see I put a score line in there? And I've now made a card base. That's all this is. This is a pre-made, this is one of my 200-pound pre-made card bases. All this is half of 8.5 by 11 cut and scored. This happens to be 200 pounds, but I did it with my shimmer. Now, to make a flip card or an easel card, I have to score again. Regardless of which one I want to make, it makes no difference, but I have to score again because I need it to either flip back or I need to easel it up. So I've got 4.25 right here. This is 4.25. What is half of 4.25? 2 1/8. So I'm going to line it on up, I'm going to find my 2 1/8 mark. And you know, I recommend that if you've got a trimmer and you're doing card bases, you just put a little high, you know, Sharpie pin where your measurements are, so you don't even have to think about it. You just line it up to where your little markies are and go. I'm at 2 1/8 and I am going to score. Now I'm ready to do a flip card or an easel card. And again, let's talk about this one more time. I took just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I lined it up in my trimmer on the 11 side and cut that in half so that I had a 5.5 sheet. Then I rotated that to be on my narrower side, which my 8-inch side, and I scored right down the center. So if this is 8.5, I scored at 4 1/4. And if that's all you want to do is make a card base, you're done. Now you can decorate. But I wanted to do a flip card or an easel card. So then I took this measurement, which is 4 1/4. I divided it by 2, which gave me 2 1/8, and I scored it again. Don't do the math, just write down what I said. It's easier. But now I'm ready to do something with this. I'm gonna move this out of the way for just right now. And I'm going to start with, the die that I was talking to you about, where it's got a cut edge all the way along here. And it's got just a few little cut edges on this side. So, depending upon how you line this die up to your score line, it will make a difference whether you do a flip card or an easel card. So if I have, here's my edge, my cut edge that goes all the way around. I'm going to bring over my machine. I am working with my standard platform, just my multi-purpose platform. This is the short one. You could absolutely use the long one that comes with it without any problem. I'm not going to be using my, well, I may be because I don't have another set of pads here. So I'll be using my precision base plate. Even though this is a frame die, not recommended to use a precision base plate with an open frame die. It can tend to warp the die. But since I do not have another set of cutting pads here, I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. Shh, don't tell anybody. So I'm gonna put my paper right down, and the side that has the cut edge all the way around the top of it, it's got the cut edge all the way around the top of it. I'm gonna take that arrow, that little piece, and I'm going to point that right towards my score line. See my main fold in the card? I'm gonna point that right towards there. And then the little brackets are gonna line up kind of with the other score line. It's gonna kind of line up. And I am going to die cut. Put down my other clear plate and send it on through. Now, because this is an open die, it shouldn't need to go back and forth. This should cut through on a one-time. See how my mat is not moving? Isn't that lovely? So I'm gonna move this over to my side just for a minute. So I wanna show you the back. Can you see how this side has cut out, but this side just has a few little cut lines, but it's not cut all the way out, but this side is. I have now made the beginnings of an easel card. I took the cut line, the side of the die that has all the cut line all the way around it, and I pointed that to the main score line of my card base. And I just rolled it on through and then folded on that second score that I added, and I have made the beginnings of my easel card. So, really quickly, one more time, and those of you who have got it down, that's great. Go ahead and fast forward if you want to, but I'm going to show it one more time. I took my 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, I cut it in half. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4 because that's half of 8.5 by, or that's half of the 8.5. If all you're doing is a card base, wahoo, you're done. I want to be able to do a flip card or a easel card or a flip card. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to score one more time. This is my space here is 4 1/4, so I'm going to divide that by 2 and it's going to be 2 1/8. I'm going to score again. Move this out of my way. Bring my die over. It is the die that has half of it cut, a cut line on half, and only intermittent cut lines on the other half. I'm going to put my paper down, and the side that has all the cut, I'm going to face that pointing up towards my center score line of my card. And then I'm going to send it on through. And I have now started the basis of an easel card. But what if easel cards aren't your favorite type of card to make? What if you prefer to make a flip card? This exact same die is going to allow you to do that. This exact same die, you don't need anything else, is going to let you make a flip card instead of an easel card. How are we going to do that? Easy peasy. Let's grab another sheet of paper. I think I will take the yellow since it's contrasting to the pink that I just used. Gonna do the exact same thing. Gonna take my side that's 11 inches and cut that in half to 5 1/2. Going to rotate my paper, find my 4 1/4 and score it. Gonna slide it right on down to 2 1/8 and score it again. So we're back to where we started, just like the pink, exactly the same. The difference is, this time, instead of taking the die that has the cut line and having that point towards our center score line, I'm now going to rotate it and I'm going to have it point to the end of the card. All I'm going to do is flip it around 180 degrees. I'm going to now have the cut edge here and not here. That's all I did different. To do an easel, that cut edge is on the side that has the main score line for your card. To do a flip card, you just rotate it. That's all you do. Flip it. That's it. It's that simple. Just flip it. And let's roll it on through. So that's what you need to write down. Easel card, you want the cut edge facing the center score line. Flip card, you want the cut edge facing, pointing towards the end of the card. Put my plate on top and send it on through. Creaks and cracks are fine, not a problem. Again, this is a frame die. It's not intricate at all. You shouldn't need to cut more than once. Move my machine over. Did you notice that nothing has moved? So, Remember, I've got a cut edge and I've got a side that just has a few little cuts in it, just a few little cuts. Do my main score, and then take and flip back. This is why I like my bedazzled paper with this so much, because I've got the shimmer on the front with the flip, and the back side is just plain cardstock, so I've got them both. I've got immediately a distinction between the two. Get it scored. And I have a flip, all with the exact same die. The dies that come in your set, each one of them has a die like this for its specific shape. So you're going to get 4 different dies that will allow you to make 4 different flip cards or easel cards. And all I did was rotate where I put the cut edge. If you want a flip card, the side that has the cutting edge goes towards the edge of the card. You want an easel card, then the side with the cut edge goes towards your center line of your score to make your easel. But we're not done with these yet. Now we've built the basis of our cards. We've built the foundation, but there's so much more that can be done. Now we can take the decor die that comes with it. Of course, we always make a decor die. And remember, on our decor dies, there's no cut edge along the outside. No cut edge. That means when I cut this, it's going to cut into the paper. It's going to cut the design into the paper, but it's not going to cut the entire die out. It's just going to leave that beautiful decal, the decor, the beautiful edges and the flourishes in the paper, but I'm not going to actually get out a die cut. So let's line this up. Now we do need our precision base plate, absolutely. My dies tend to be very intricate. I didn't know I was that kind of girl, but I am. I just like pretty. I love pretty. I am going to use my multi-purpose platform, whether it be large or small, doesn't matter. My tabs are completely closed. Closed. No tabs should be open. Doesn't matter if you're using the long one or the short one. I've got my precision base plate. The instructions should be down. If I can read how to use this plate, I'm doing it wrong. You need to not be able to read it. Metal side up. I'm just going to line it in there because it's slightly smaller than the die that we used to make the base. This one, the decor die, fits right in there. It nests in there beautifully. I'm going to put down my icky, yucky, ugly pad. Whenever you're using a precision base plate, grab the oldest, yuckiest, ugliest cutting mat or cutting plate that you've got. And I'm going to send it on through. Now, I am going to rotate 90 degrees because I can't go, or 180 degrees. I was like this. I can't go 90 because it won't fit through my machine, but I can go 180. And it's now the die is going to hit the rollers in a brand new way. Just going back and forth isn't helpful when a die is not coming. The roller needs to hit the die in a brand new and unique way. If you're just rolling it back and forth, the roller in your machine is just hitting it in the exact way it did before. You need to rotate your die to make sure that the roller in the machine now hits that die in a new and unique way, thereby giving you all your cuts. And see, precision base plate. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And already they're starting to fall out. So I've got my little Sizzix mat here. little foamy mat and the little Sizzix brush. And I can go over it. And the little pieces kind of stay right where they are. So then you can throw them away in your trash and not make a mess everywhere. But of course, I've got a lot of pieces in my dies. Oh my goodness. They are very, very, very intricate. There's no question about that. It's funny, I didn't realize I say this all the time, I really didn't understand that I had a style until I started designing, and then it's quite, yes, I absolutely have a style. Okay, so we've got our die cut in there. And now we flip it back. What do we think of that? Pretty awesome, huh? And now remember, you've got the additional dies that you can then layer on top. You can cut and layer more pieces on top. You can use the stamped sentiment, but you've got 2 more dies that will layer right on top of this one. Absolutely. You could cut a window out of this. There is so many things to be done. There is your flip with the decor die. Let's do the easel. So I started my easel. Let's move this right out of the way. Let's bring this back over. Oops, grab the bottom of my mat. There we go. And we're gonna line it up. Now with the decor die, remember there's no cutting edge anywhere on the outside, so it doesn't matter if I do it this way, it doesn't matter if I do it this way. The only die that has any importance to is the foundation die, the die that is going to let you either make an easel or a flip. So I'm just gonna line these right on up. And then I'm gonna put on my yucky mat. And then I'm gonna send it on through. Little creaks and cracks are fine. Remember, I can't rotate 90 degrees because then my paper is too wide for my machine. If you have a plus machine, then you can do it. The Sizzix Plus machine would let you do it, but I'm going to rotate 180 degrees so the roller hits the die in a brand new way. I am absolutely on my precision base plate, and I am on my standard multi-purpose platform, tabs completely closed. And send it on through. Oh, I bent it a little bit, but that's okay. All right, move out of the way. Bring over my little Sizzix tool here. I like that it's got, like I said, that little mat because then it holds in the little pieces, keeps them right on that mat so they don't go everywhere. Lift it up. My little pieces stay there. Of course, I've got a lot of little pieces and they just want to fall right on out. That's the beauty of a precision base plate. It takes your intricate dies and literally just makes them easy to use. So if you've got dies that you haven't used because they're not cutting, try a precision base plate. And there is the beginning of my easel card. Now my little flowers don't pop out, but they are cut so that you can pull up the little petals so that you can 3D them. So the little flowers will let you 3D them. But we're not done here because I haven't put my little stand so that it doesn't go. Can't give an easel card and have it go whoop. What's going to hold it in place? Well, we give that to you. Every single set has their own little stand. Now these you can mix and match. Sure, you can take this and use this with any of them. It doesn't matter which one you use with which set. You can absolutely mix and match that, but that's about the only thing you can mix and match. Now to put my stand in, I need to use the inside of the card, not the outside. I need to be looking at the inside of the card, and I need the straight edge to go parallel to the straight edge of the card. Okay, did we get that? So I've got a straight edge here. I'm looking at the inside of my card, and here's my straight edge, and I'm going to line it up somewhere here, wherever it is that I want it, because it's going to pop up. There is no cutting edge on this side of the die. So it will let this pop up so it will hold your base in place. So let's put it in there and cut it. Line it right in there. Now normally I would put some paper or something here, and that would kind of give me a better guide as to where I want to put this. And it doesn't matter if you put the die to the side, in the center, over to the side. It's wherever you want to have it put. It's your choice. So I'm just going to put it off to the side so you can see it a little bit better. And then I'm going to cover it up, and I'm going to send it through. And remember, I am looking at the inside of my card. This is probably the one thing that people get most confused on, is that I need it to be on the inside because I need it to pop upwards so that when I put this together, it will stand up. If I do it on the outside, if I were to die cut on the pretty shimmery side, it's backwards. Now it's going to want to pop this way. Or you have the back side of the die facing you. So let's pop that off. Can you see why I said this one was a little bit technique-y? And again, the little flower in there, it's got little lines, little cut lines, so you can pull it up. I've got my score line there. Score here really, really well. Take a bone folder or whatever you need to do to get that score line really good. And now, because I've got my little easel, my little stand up there, my card stays in place. And again, I could have put this in the center. I could have put it over here. I wanted to put it somewhere where you could see it. And because I've got the two-tone paper, because I've got shimmer on one side and flat here, you've got a monotone. You've got what looks like to be different paper, but it's all out of the very same sheet. And that's really important because here, really, because I've got the flat yellow cardstock against the shimmer, all I have to do is put maybe a flower or two, a sentiment, and it's done. I could put some ribbon down here, but because you've got the two-tone of paper, but it's monotone, they work together, it's out of the same sheet, you have the availability to just take one sheet and get an awesome card base out of it, regardless if you're doing the easel or the flip. So when somebody gets it, you send them this in the mail, and then they get it, and then they display it out like this on their table or their desk or wherever. Can you see why I called them transformations? Because there's so much to be done with them, but we're not done yet. I need to explain to you the next step of transformations. What happens if you don't want a flip card or an easel card? What happens if you just want this shape to actually be die cut out? This is where the revolutionary process really kicks into high gear. Remember on this die how I showed you there's a cut line all the way around here, but only a few little lines here. Those little lines are your guide. Say, what? What are you talking about, Stacey? Those little lines are your guide. So let's grab another sheet of paper and let's take the purple. So I keep using different colors so actually I think I'm gonna swap off this green and do this green. And again, I'm still using my bedazzled paper. So this time I just have just a plain piece of paper. It's my bedazzled paper, but there's no score in it. There's no extra scoring. There's no bending. There's no creasing. It's just a piece of paper. And I'm going to put my die on it. And again, this is a frame die, so it is not necessarily meant for a precision base plate, but because I do not have another clear plate with me, I'm gonna go ahead and use it. I'm just gonna put that right there in the middle, easy peasy. Put my clear plate right on top and send it on through. One cut is enough. One cut is enough. One roll. So what I've got here is just what I showed you before. I've got half of it that cuts out and half of it that just has the little extra cuts on the shoulders. So there's a cut. There's a cut there. There's a cut there. There's a cut there. Why did we do that? We did that to give you a guide. A guide. So now if I take my die and I take the side that has the cut lines all the way around it, I put it there the first time and it cut all the way out. But now if I just rotate it 180 degrees and I line it up with the little cut lines that are there, I just line my die back up and it kind of sits in there. When it's there, you kind of know it because it kind of fits in. It kind of locks itself into place. And that's why we added those cut lines. So it would kind of lock itself into place. Of course, I just moved it, but oh, that felt pretty good. I'm gonna run it through again. Creaks and cracks are fine. And now, what have I done? Remember how I said I wanted it to cut all the way out? I have now created an actual die cut. So it has absolutely nothing to do, didn't do a flip, didn't do an easel. I did a true die cut, which means that I can then put this one aside, take my decor die, center it on that die cut, put my ugly, yucky, and the reason you want an ugly, yucky one is because the pressure with this precision base plate is so strong that it actually embosses into your cut mat. And send it on through. I'm gonna rotate it. This time I can rotate just 90 degrees because it fits my base without any problem. Send it back. Bring over my little mat, kind of get some of that all out of there. Throw it all away. And unlike any other die on the market, I now gave you a full die cut too. So even if you're not into cards, even if you don't want to make an easel or a flip and you just want to die cut pretty dies, there it is. One die transforms into so many different things. And then I have options after this. You know Simply Refined. All of you know Simply Refined by now. I could take this one and layer that in there and I could cut the window out. Or I could take this one and put this one in there and cut a window out. I have options. It's whatever I want to do now. Or I can just stamp. I have the stamps that coordinate, and I could stamp. The stamps that coordinate. Remember that you've got to pull off the little, there we go. There's a little clear plastic on the top. You've got to pull that off. Take it to your block. Clear block. It clings and unclings and clings and unclings. And I could stamp my sentiment right there. I could take a piece of the yellow. Well, I don't want to take that piece. That's nicely scored. How about a piece of the pink? And I could pull this on over. Take that die, take the next die down. That fits right in there. Cut that out of my pink. It's an open frame die. Ideally, you are not using your precision base plate with it because it can tend to warp an open frame die because there's no structure to hold it together. I've given you, look at the cute little dots. The little dots, and then I can layer that on top of there. And then I still have the smallest one if I really want. And I could cut that one out of purple. Let's cut this one out of purple. Send it on through. That pops right out there. So now I've got 3 layers going on, but we're not done yet. Do you remember that there was that really big die? I haven't even used this one yet, and this fits right inside there. Let's cut this one. You know what, just really quickly, I'm going to tape these down to each other so they're not all over the place. I've got just a little bit of my Stacey tape. Put a little bit of Stacey tape just on the back. It is a double-sided self-adhesive tape. It is stronger than Sukwang. It is longer, and it is a little bit less money. We were able to get the manufacturer who contacted me and said, hey, would you like to do your own adhesive? Because we weren't. We were selling Sukwang, and we were very happy to sell it. It's a great brand. But when a manufacturer says, do you want to do something a little bit better, a little bit longer, a little bit stronger, and offer it to your customers for a little less money, I said, well, yeah. So that's what I've got so far. And that has absolutely nothing to do with an easel card or a flip card. And again, these little pieces that I've done in here are the same little pieces that you can layer right in the center of there. So is your mind spinning yet? The same little pieces I did in here are the same little pieces I did here. Or I could cut a window out. I could actually cut a window out of here if I wanted to, because I could, because there's so many options. But I'm gonna cut this big one, and I think I'm gonna cut this one out of the purple. So I'm just gonna grab a piece of my bedazzled paper. Now my bedazzled paper, there's 4 different SKUs. You get cools, jewels, metals, or primaries. You get 3 of every color. There's 6 colors per pack. You get 3 of every color, so you get 18 sheets, and it is value priced at $9.99. Trust me, that's a value price for shimmer glimmer paper. This is an intricate die. Yes, it's an open die, but it has structure to it. So this is considered an intricate die, and I am going to be using my precision base plate. I'm going to put it right down. I'm going to send it on through. Put it right on my mat that doesn't move. It's such a happy day for me. And then I have it here. I'm going to rotate 90 degrees because I can. My paper is small enough. If you have a Sizzix Plus machine, then you have nothing to worry about. You go, girl or guy. You've got an extra 3 inches of width to play with. Move this out of my way. Pop out some of my little bits and pieces. And again, the flowers have cut lines, so you can make them 3D if you want. You can pop them up if you want, make them dimensional. But then I could put that right on there. And again, this has absolutely nothing to do with a flip or an easel card. This is just making a beautiful die cut. And yes, if I wanted to, you know what, I'm going to cut it one more time so you can see the difference. I'm going to mount that one real quick. I'm afraid to see how long this YouTube is, but there's just no other way to do it but to show you all of it. There just isn't. And I've got samples still to show you. Come on, gel nails, there we go. So I'm going to put this one right there for that. I'm going to cut another one out super fast. I've got a little pocket down there that's collecting all of it in my apron. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. Let's put that back there. I'm going to bring my machine back. You haven't seen my mat move once. I'm going to lay it on. Oh, don't tell me I went too thin. Oh. Well, I'm going to give it a whirl and see if I can get it. I cut my paper a little short. Send it on through. Actually, a little narrow. Send it on through. Rotate. Send it back. Now don't forget, these dies are limited. They're a one and done. When they're sold out, they're sold out. They are only $14.99 for the set when you buy the I Want It All. But even then, even if you just pick one or two that you love, 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 this is still just $19.99, and there is nothing on the market to give you that kind of value. All the dies, all the stamps for $19.99. And like I said, every one of them has their own little stand-up helper, so that that is the one piece you can interchange. Okay, let's throw this away. Oh, I think I did it by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Let's get some of these pieces out. By the hair of my chinny chin chin. And then let's take the decor die. That doesn't have a cutting edge around the outside at all. It's going to cut that detail into this die. Let's pull it right back on over. Line it up. On a precision base plate, put down my yucky cut plate, send it through once, rotate, send it through again, it out. Get rid of some of my little bits and pieces. Throw them all away. And now I've cut into 2 different ways, layering, cutting into, transformations, because you can take a standard die set, die cut all you want, but then transform them into a flip or an easel card, all with just one set. This was all done using just one set of dies. So many options, all just using one set of dies. Wait till you see the storyboards. And then there's more, because of course I didn't use the layering dies at all, only on this one. And I didn't get into using the stamps. Each set comes with their own set of stamps that fit perfectly in to layer. Absolutely. Rubber stamps, you just have to remember to take the little, there's a little plastic piece on the top. Remember to take that off, otherwise it will not cling to your block. It'll just fall off and you're going, Stacey, why is it not clinging? Don't forget, take off that little piece of clear plastic that's protecting this. And then, I promise, it'll cling and cling and cling and cling, and if it stops clinging, wash your block, wash your stamp, Palmolive dishwashing detergent, let it dry, and you're back in business with it clinging again. This is transformations. And I have to tell you, this made my head hurt when I was coming up with this concept. I didn't know it would be possible, and it is possible. Anything is possible. In fact, I think that that's one of my steps. The word itself is I'm possible. This is possible, and you can do this. Whether you just want to die cut the pretty shapes and layer them, or whether you want to get into interactive cards, you can do this. I know you can, because I did it, and I am not a rocket scientist. Far from it. But I wanted what I wanted, and I got it. And now I hope you want it too when you see all that you can do with it. I am going to show you the storyboards, because I'm afraid that this YouTube's going to be 4 hours long. So let me pull the storyboards. There's a lot to see. So this is Take Pride and Have Faith. This is the one I was just using. I don't even know how to get all of this on the camera. So you've got the background, you've got the background with the decor die, you've got just a decor die cut out of a square sheet or a rectangle sheet of paper, you've got the decor with the flowers lifted, without the flowers lifted. You can do just the label pieces, there are the smaller little pieces, and then here is the flip that you can do, and here is the easel. That you can do. This is just one set. And Elena had to stop. We could have done more. We could have shown you so much more. But we had to stop because there was just too much to show. She could have made a whole backside to this storyboard. But look at the flip. How beautiful is that? So she did the flip. She used the main foundation die, and then she die cut out this piece right there and layered it on top, so you had the shimmer and the coordinating the back, so you have some dimension to it. This is just one set, and this is Take Pride and Have Faith. Next, we have Do What You Believe In. And the names of them, they're transformations. Do What You Believe In is from the stamps usually. We usually take the name from the stamps. And again, here's your background. I hope I can get it in there. Here's your background piece. Here's your background piece with the decor. Here's just the decor all by itself. This is the background piece. There's the decor with the center. There's one with a window. Remember I told you you could make a window if you wanted. There are the smaller dies. There are the stamps. There's just the background. There's so much. Here's the easel. And over here is the flip. And you really get a good understanding of why I like the bedazzled paper, because you can see, without having to layer anything, you can see the difference of the papers. It's awesome. Love the bedazzled. So this is Do What You Believe In. And all of this came from just one set. And look at how beautiful the background die is. Oh my gosh, just gorgeous. So if you don't want a flipper easel, you still have got so many options. Next we have Sign from Heaven. And again, we've got the background piece. We've got the background with the decor cut in. We have it taken, the decor in the background out. All of this came from just one set. Really, your options. And then we've got the flip. Actually, that's the easel, sorry. We've got the easel. And we have got the flip card. Which you can then take all the other little pieces and layer them right on top. So this is just one set of transformations. Sign from the Heavens. Okay, and then our last set is Nothing is Impossible, because I really do believe that. I thought in the beginning, this is impossible. I'm asking for too much. And this set, Nothing is Impossible, actually has even more than the other sets. So we've got the beautiful background die. We've got the background die with the decor die. We've got the background die with a window in it. We've got all of the pieces that you can cut. But this die comes with a vertical and a horizontal. So here I've got a horizontal flip. This piece is a horizontal flip, and here I've got a vertical flip. So you can do a horizontal flip card, or you can do a vertical flip card, and that holds true for the easel. I can run the die horizontally. Oh, she's glued it down. Come up, come up. Well, I could do it horizontally, or I could have a vertical flip. Well, this one she didn't glue down. Or I could have a vertical flip. So do you want a vertical flip or easel? Boy, I'm getting myself confused. Vertical easel, horizontal easel. Vertical flip, horizontal flip. And if you don't want to do flips or verticals at all, or easels at all, then you've got all of this to play with to make all the different things you want to make. Like I said, Elena had to stop on the, she had to stop on these because she just could have kept going and going and going and going and going and going. All right, I'm going to show samples now, and I've got lots of them, so if you haven't left me, thank you very much. I'm going to start with Claire. So here we go with Claire. And she's just used the die as a standard die. There we go with Claire. And here is Claire. And again, this isn't an easel, this isn't a flip, this is just die cutting. Using all the different elements. Here she did an easel card. So it would come in the mail like that, and then you just flip it right up. And yes, these are elements that are in the die that she snipped out. You get these pieces in the die, and she just snipped them out to make her beautiful easel card. And then she did a flip card. And she's used Mega Flakes, and she's used some of the other pieces that come with them. And you can see she just cut the backing out so that she could stamp on it, and it coordinates and everything matches and lines up beautifully. And last but not least, she did a mixed media piece, which is stunning. And here she's got it. She's got the die to frame her picture in. And a little stamp on the top. But there's Claire and her mixed media. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, then we're gonna go to Kathy. Oh my gosh, the girls did a lot. They were awesome. So here we have Kathy. And she's actually used, it feels like velvet paper. And here we go with Kathy again. And again, these are not easel or flip. This is just using, well, that's using my glimmer sheets. But just making beautiful cards. Thank you. So pretty. Best wishes. Can't you see putting their pictures right there? Putting two pictures behind there. And here she used some dies from my older collections. Here she used Valentine's of last year to make this. So the red with the roses are part of the Simply Refined. And the hearts came from Simply Defined last Valentine's, which I think I did in either November or December last year. And then Kathy also did a layout. So you can see where she's used them. You've got them on the corners. You've got the pictures matted on them. She was able to cut the picture to the exact shape and mat it right in there. This is Kathy and her layout. Simple, elegant, beautiful, and done. So that's Kathy. Next we're gonna move to Doris. Okay, so I've got Doris here. Doris has done a flip with a little extra on the inside. So you've got the flip and then Simply Refined. So Simply Refined did the flip and the interior. And that's Doris. Then we've got the easel card. And here she used a Kaiser Craft die. It says, believe in yourself. Look at how beautiful is that. So goes in the mail like this, gets propped up like this once your recipient gets it. How beautiful is that? And then from Doris, I also have a layout. Oh my gosh, it's magnificent. All the girls do such beautiful, beautiful work. Here she did them on the corners of the picture. And you've got down here, all done with the Simply Refined, and up here, all done with the Simply Refined dies and stamps. Transformations is what this collection is called. Okay, then we're gonna grab Sharon. We're almost there. And Sharon just kept it bright and simple and beautiful. And yes, the little petals come up off the die, and she colored those in. They're little daisies, and it's just bright and happy. And this is Sharon. And then I showed this one on Facebook. Just simple, elegant, lovely. No flip, no easel, just using the dies. There we have Sharon. Then we have Yvette. So here we have Yvette's easel card. I showed this one in Facebook too. Isn't that gorgeous? And that's just using the foundation die for the flip or the easel and the decor die that goes with it. She didn't use anything else. Same with this. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Again, she used the foundation die to get the flip in, and then she used the decor die and she cut it all the way out and layered it on top. This is Yvette. And then we've got another easel card where she was able to incorporate the entire die to make a beautiful, beautiful easel card. And the bow, the ribbon is what's holding it in place. So let me get, that is Yvette. And then her last one is all about glitter. Holy smokes, look at that, is that fab? And it's not an easel or a flip, it's just a card, which really isn't just a card because it's absolutely amazing. All the girls do amazing work. And these are the SMS girls that do all of the designing once the dies come in. Last we have Michelle. Well, not last, but so Michelle I showed you first with her easel card and how she also incorporated all the dies from that set to make it work. She even put a border of the die. She took the side right off and put it down there to add more decoration. And then Michelle did a shadow box. And the Simply Refined is in the center. Her daughter isn't that age anymore. She's going into high school. Oh my goodness gracious, how time goes by. So that is Michelle. We have Elena, who just is the queen of finds. So she found this box at probably the swap meet, and she took and decorated all the sides. Somebody was getting rid of the box for $1. That's Elena. That's about the price she's happy to pay for something. I don't know if she did the inside. Oh, she did one right on the top. And she used graphic 45. I don't know if I can get it in there. She used graphic 45 paper. Beautiful, huh? That's Elena and her dollar find at the swap meet. And then last but not least, we have Belinda. And Belinda made a banner that says Mom. She's keeping her banners shorter so I can get them all in the camera. Got the banner done with Simply Refined. Thank you, Belinda. She's keeping them shorter so I can get them all in there. And then she did a mixed media piece. And it's beautiful. So she used the Simply Refined here. She's got Kaiser Craft that we used last week that said, "You make me smile." And she mounted it into a frame. Added a few little flowers, threw some glitter at it, and it's gorgeous. Ready to hang. Who wouldn't want this? It's absolutely beautiful. Ready to hang. This is Belinda. Now, like I said, you absolutely can use a standard card base. If you already have a card base, all you have to do is just put that extra score line down the center, and then you're ready to either do a flip or an easel. It's up to you. So if you don't want to make your own card bases, you don't have to. And of course, I've got 200-pound card bases, so it kind of feels like there's two of them there. Super heavy. Yes, the dies will cut through. And again, all you have to do is add your one score line here and then decide, do you want to flip or do you want an easel? If you put the foundation die with all the cuts going towards the score line, you've now made an easel. If you flip it and put the foundation die with the cuts towards the edge of the card, you've now made a flip. One little transformation, one little rotation can make all the difference, and you don't have to make your own cards. Just put a score line right there and you are good to go. Like I said, we've also have the Simply Defined Bedazzled. So we've got four different packs from the jewels, the metallics, the primaries, and the cools. Each of them come with 6 different colors. You get 3 sheets each for 18 sheets total, and they retail for $9.99. And that is what I have been using to make all of the shimmery happiness that we've been doing. All the yumminess that we've been doing. That's the cardstock that I used today. It was Bedazzled. And then just real quick, the dies. So if you do the I Want It All, you get all 4 sets for $59.99. That makes them $14.99 each. But if you just want 1 set or 2 sets, well, then they're $19.99, which is still a whopper of a deal. Oh, I'm really afraid to see. I'm really afraid to see. Oh, and don't forget my craft mat. Love my craft mat. They are $17.99, and again, they don't move. It's a happy day. I'm a little nervous to see how long this is, but it is what it is. You had to understand how to use these dies, and I couldn't do it any faster because there is so much to them. And I hope you refer back to this YouTube once you get them, because once you start playing, you won't stop. I promise you. You'll want to do all of the layering that we can do. You'll want to cut in like we did. You'll want to easel like we did. You'll want to flip. You'll want to do it all. You'll want to put windows in everything, and you can, because the dies are meant to give you the most options for the most affordable price I can bring them to you. So it's me, Stacey, Scrapbooking Made Simple. Where are you going to find all of this? Well, the only place you're going to find Simply Defined and Simply Refined is at Scrapbooking Made Simple. They are my own brands, and we don't sell them anywhere else. So if you love them and you want them, you have to come get them from us. And that's at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Or you can come in the store and visit us, and we'd love to see you. We had Virginia in the store today. We had Tennessee in the store today. It was great. So come visit us. But until next week for my next Saturday with Stacey, it is me. I am done. Oh! And I hope you enjoyed. Shop scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Bye, everybody.